This is an inference question and we have to find a hypothesis that has the strongest support from the argument. There is no conclusion in the argument and the missing link is not required. Our broad expectation from the correct answer choice is that it should be duly deducible from the information in the passage without any assumption or extrapolation. Answer choice A. The argument mentions that the prehistoric tetrapod was proportionally larger than the salamander and so it required more nutrients to rebuild body mass. The argument also mentions that the prehistoric tetrapod's cells were faster dying. So in other words, it can be inferred that for the prehistoric tetrapod to regrow its limbs, it would take longer than the time taken by the modern salamander. However, the argument doesn't suggest anything about what would have happened if the prehistoric tetrapod regenerated its limb faster than the modern salamander does. So this answer choice cannot be inferred from the passage. Let's eliminate this answer choice. Answer choice B. The argument mentions that the prehistoric tetrapod could regrow its limbs. However, the argument makes no suggestion regarding the size of the new limbs. So it cannot be inferred that the new limbs that were regrown were usually proportionally larger than the original limbs. So let's eliminate this answer choice. Answer choice C. This answer choice says that the limbs of the prehistoric tetrapod after being severed would have taken more time than the limbs of the modern salamander would take to regenerate. Yes, the argument mentions that the prehistoric tetrapod was proportionally larger than the modern salamander and so it needed more nutrients to rebuild body mass. The argument also mentions that the prehistoric tetrapod had cells that would die faster than the cells of the modern salamander. So it can be inferred that in order to build larger body mass and also in a scenario when cells are dying faster, the new limbs of the prehistoric tetrapod would take longer than the new limbs of the modern salamander, which is what is suggested in answer choice C. So this is a good answer choice. Let's keep this on hold. Answer choice D. The argument compares the prehistoric tetrapod and the modern salamander on the aspects related to the regrowth of limbs. However, the passage makes no suggestion regarding the risk of falling prey to a predator. So this answer choice, which compares the two species on this risk, cannot be inferred. So let's eliminate this answer choice. Answer choice E. The argument mentions that the prehistoric tetrapod could escape predators by severing its limbs. However, the argument makes no suggestion regarding other means of evading predators. So it cannot be inferred that severing the limbs was not the only means of evading predators. So let's eliminate this answer choice. C is the correct answer choice.